Hi everyone, my name is Victoria Taylor and this is my project on tobacco and alcohol advertising. My stance is that alcohol and tobacco advertisements should be banned. I cannot remember a time when I did not know what Budweiser was. In this video, I will share why I think alcohol and tobacco should not be allowed to be advertised. Because this is the kind of advertising that affects kids, has a racial leaning, and the communities that should be purchasing these products already are informed about them. Let's move on to my first issue with tobacco and alcohol advertising. There was one study, there was research that provided that the exposure to in-store beer displays and alcoholic beverage advertisements in magazines increased drinking by 9th grade from non-drinking 7th graders. This was Erickson, Collins, Hambarsumians, and not sure if I'm saying that right, McCaffrey in 2005. So that's just a really interesting study that they did that just showed that in that short amount of time, kids became drinkers at such a young age because of being exposed to these advertisements more than to their peers who were not. Anybody who's worked with kids knows that kids are easily susceptible to any kind of pressure, so that should really be avoided. And I personally feel that anything that could be harmful to adolescents or children isn't something we need in our society. I just have a lot of issue with the idea that a kid could be getting harmed because the company is trying to make some money. Now that we've discussed this kind of advertising and how it affects kids, it's time to move on to my next point. Alcohol is racist. In an article by Ethnicity and Health, it says youth attending schools with 20% or more Hispanic students were exposed to 6.5 times more alcohol advertisements than students attending schools with less than 20% Hispanic students. And this is by Pash, Comro, Perry, Hirst, and Farbash. Once again, hope I'm saying that right, and it's in 2009. That's terrifying to me. It's no secret that there's still a lot of mistreatment of minorities in our country, and stats like this are only perpetuating the problem. That's a really unacceptable statistic that would be out there. Another thing is, in our textbook, they discuss how tobacco advertising has turned to Asian markets because the U.S. has started to not look upon smoking quite so well. This is really difficult because European and American culture is looked upon so favorably in most Asian cultures. It's really hard for them to avoid it. 60% of Chinese men and 10% of Chinese women are addicted to tobacco product. And this is Campbell, Martin, and Fabos, 2015. Since we've seen how alcohol and tobacco are racist, we should move on to my last point. People know about it. I do not personally take issue with drinking, and I understand that some people choose to smoke. However, the people that should be doing these things know where to find them. It's not like it's an issue that people that should be drinking don't know where the liquor is located. So I'm not sure why there's so much advertising happening in places that anyone can be. I've been to AA meetings and I've seen how difficult it is for people who struggle with addiction to constantly be bombarded by these kind of advertisements. And I don't think they should just be things people have to stumble across. I think they should be the kind of things that people have to stumble into because they're intentionally looking for it. But thinking about all of this, it kind of brings up the First Amendment. This was created to help people who have been voiceless to have freedom to express themselves, not to put at-risk populations in any more danger, which is what this is doing. Since all of my points have been covered, let's conclude. In this video, I have shared why I think alcohol and tobacco companies should not be allowed to advertise. I explained that this kind of advertising affects kids, has a racial leaning, and the population should be purchasing these products are already informed about them. As I said at the beginning, I cannot remember a time when I did not know about Budweiser. Unfortunately, at that time I just associated it with Clydesdales and Christmas and all kinds of nice things, and I wasn't really affected by the actual dangers of drinking. Let's not let this continue to happen in our society and to our children and to our at-risk populations. Thank you so much.